sixth day, God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. On the seventh day, God said, "Let there be radio." And there was radio. And John Fuller's voice in the wilderness said, "This is good." And it was. The power behind the power. The president and CEO of Full Power Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, John Fuller.
And I guess today he wanted to be introduced as the urinal cake salesman. So, good morning. How are you?
What is the matter with you?
What's wrong with
Is
you?
my mic on?
Yeah,
Is
it's
this
on.
radio station on the air? What's going on here?
So you're all fired up. You're mad at Trump, right? You don't like Trump anymore. Is that what you're saying?
What are you saying? Are you nuts?
You like the job he's done so far.
You don't.
I didn't say that.
You said yesterday, it's taken too long to drain the swamp.
It is
I
taking
heard
too
you on
long.
the radio, and I almost drove off into a cow pasture in Preston.
No, in Avon.
Oh, Avon. You're right.
You're in Avon.
I was listening to your new noontime show.
Yes.
That isn't working out.
No, it's not working out.
Because you can't keep up with it.
There's nobody in the country that does 5 hours of talk and split 5 hours to boot, and now you're busting my stones?
And you got that stupid guy that you're filling in for at night, Wayne Allen Root.
That's your guy.
Yeah, so let's figure this out.
You had an expensive dinner with him, didn't you?
Yeah. You got 4 hours in the morning,
Yeah.
1 hour at midday,
That's 5.
which was your idea, not mine.
That's true.
And then you're on at night. What's the matter with you, Lee?
Well, I love it. I love what I do, but it's crazy. It's a crazy time. So no, in all seriousness, so you wanted to talk. You're happy with Trump, aren't you?
I think that given the incredible tide against Donald Trump, he has overwhelmingly done a good job.
Okay.
He almost is a one-man show because he has to fire people from his staff daily.
Just about, yeah.
Which I understand.
You you need to fire somebody.
I did
You know-
2 weeks ago. I fired someone, and it was a great move. He was with the company for over 10 years.
What happened?
Do you know something?
You don't want to get into it?
I
All right.
can't get into
I
it.
understand.
He's a
Yeah.
great guy.
Yeah.
But
Is
things
he-
work out.
Okay. Just rubbed you the wrong way for a
No,
little.
no.
Okay. Oh, just he wasn't pulling his weight, right?
I can't comment.
Okay, fine.
You're going down a road.
All right. I'm
that's-
sorry. I'll stop.
I'll have to have my legal counsel comment on that.
So, okay, so back to Trump. Because what I really want to talk to you about, in all seriousness today, not only is the Trump stuff, but I did want to talk to you about radio.
Okay, we'll talk about
You
that.
want to do the radio afterwards?
No, afterwards.
All right. So you think he's doing a good job? You think he is pretty much fulfilling the promises that he had on the campaign trail, right? For the most part.
I think he's attempting to get things done. No one ever wins everything.
Right.
He's put a lot of political capital about the Obamacare. Now he's moved on to the wall.
Right.
And he's gotten a lot of resistance on that. But I believe that a month or two ago, a few months back, he wasn't really going to go for the wall as much as he is. But his base came out.
Yep.
And he wanted to keep a campaign promise. I also think he has attempted to keep every campaign promise he has made.
Okay. How about the tax situation? We'll get back to the wall in a second. But, I mean, I don't know about your taxes, but most of the folks out there got a break, if you will, for the most part.
They did.
In their paycheck. But now they're complaining about their tax returns, or they're not getting as much back because they changed the whole format, right?
Well, you're not going to get anything
No,
back.
I got to pay.
You refuse to fill out the forms.
I
don't
filled it
even
out.
know whether
I did it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did.
When?
Yeah, I filled it out yesterday.
All right. Well, that's
so
good.
just for full disclosure, so everyone knows, so everyone here at Full Power Radio had to fill out these forms, which we already filled out before when we were
10
hired.
years ago.
Which
It's
means
called
that they were
updating,
lost.
Lee.
Which means that they're out there. Everyone's social security numbers are out there in cyberspace. Thanks for doing that.
No comment. No comment, Lee. But look at Connecticut.
Yeah.
We
It's a
got
disaster.
Trump here.
Yeah.
But let's take a look at Connecticut. This is the voters of Connecticut that's putting Richard Blumenthal, Big Dick, back in the Senate again after he lied to everyone and said, "Oh, by the way, I'm a veteran. I was in Vietnam." Okay, you weren't. And you think about my grandfather, who was a lieutenant colonel in the Army. He was a spy. He was going up and down the East Coast, chasing U-boats, getting information, and he disgraced him.
Right.
Disrespected
It's a disrespect.
every
You're right.
veteran, everyone that served. My father
Agreed.
was in the Navy. My grandfather was a lieutenant colonel in the Army, and he's disrespected them, and we elect them again. We put them back in. And usually if you catch somebody in a lie, that's just the beginning.
Right.
That's the one lie you catch them in. There's 20 other lies that are going on, but we put them back in.
Over and over again.
We put Ned Lamont in. You got to say he was honest and upfront. I'm going to increase taxes, and we're going to put tolls in.
Well, he said no. He said no to tolls at first. He flip-flopped on that. He said he was going to
flip-flop.
He said he was going to put truck tolls in for out-of-state truckers, and then as soon as that wasn't going to work out, then he kind of flip-flopped.
Well, we're going to put a big-ass toll right here on this parking lot. Yes, we are. You come into Full Power Radio.
How much?
It's going to be $1.
$1?
And we're not
in
gonna
and out?
In and out. $1 in and $1 out. Here's the thing. You want to come get a Subway sandwich, you're going to have to pay $2. $1 in, $1 out. And we're not going to have someone manning the booth here.
No.
We're going to just send out little bills.
That's what happens.
And if you don't pay the bills, we're going to go after you
That's
somehow.
what
You're not
happens.
going to be able to register stuff. And,
Yeah.
You know.
So, by the way, Lamont is actually speaking today at 12, and we'll cover that today, right? Just so people want to know about that.
Why?
Why? We got to hear him. Don't you want to hear what he's going to say?
I guess.
You got to hear what he's got to say. Hey, John, hey, listen, if you want to call and talk to John Fuller or talk about anything that we're talking about, 860-464-9490. We're live on the Facebook as well as the numbers begin to grow on Facebook, too. If you ever wanted to see what John Fuller looked like, there it is. Right there in live in person in full color. We'll take a very quick break. We'll come right back. You're listening to 94.9 News Now and Stimulating Talk.
News now and stimulating talk.
All right, so we've got the man who sells urinal cakes and the disinfectant spray here with us in the studio.
No, I cleaned that.
Oh, you
Turn
cleaned
on
that.
my mic.
Okay, John Fuller is here. And by the way, John, we're being joined by the one and only Colonel Rob Simmons.
The
Colonel,
Colonel.
good morning, sir.
Well, hey, good morning, Lee. But hey, I got a problem. I mean, I'm driving up to Norwich for the Council of Governments meeting, and I just heard on the news that guy Fuller is putting a toll at the parking lot. And I'm supposed to be coming in that parking lot tomorrow. I'm not paying any toll on that damn parking lot. I'm going to park over at over at Holdridge's or something. Maybe I'll buy a plant or something and just walk over. I'm not paying any toll. What's wrong with that guy?
Colonel.
Oh my God, Lee, is he on there?
He's still here, yeah.
Oh my God, I thought he was gone.
Colonel, we have to have an example of a toll so people can protest this.
Well, is your toll? I mean, are you going to be out there kind of with a stop sign and a tin cup, or are you going to have an aperture, or how's it going to work?
I have thought this through, and I've come up with an unbelievable plan.
Yeah, how's that going to work?
Well, it's going to be this. I'm going to have a camera, get your license plate, just like the state does in Rhode Island, and I'm just going to send you a bill.
Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do what I do when I go to Rhode Island and Massachusetts. I'm going to get a big piece of mud and run it over my plate. So there. So good luck.
But I'll know it's you.
You're not going to need a gung-ho license plate. No way.
You're a one-of-a-kind, Colonel. I'll know it's you.
Hey, that was 10 years in the CIA. I learned how to do that kind of stuff.
That's right. That's right. You can get out of any toll anytime.
You got it. Hey, have a great day.
All right, Colonel. Thank you, buddy. We'll talk to the Colonel tomorrow. He'll be here, of course, at 7:35. All right. So you want to talk about? I want to talk about radio just for a second.
Okay.
We can go back to Trump if you want, if we have time, and we'll take a couple of calls. We got a couple of people.
And we'll
online.
talk about local.
I just want to ask you. So everyone is talking about podcasts. I'm anti-podcast because it sort of takes away from the terrestrial radio, and I'm a little angry with what our afternoon host does with the podcast. But where do you see this going? I mean, you've been in this business for a long time.
I see this going as an extension of the radio station's brand. If you're unable to listen to Lee Elsey in the morning and can download a podcast that has a lot of the content or the best of, I see it as an attribute. Yeah. The internet has been a huge boom for radio. There are so many places the internet now gives us coverage. For instance, at Lawrence Memorial Hospital, inside a heavy steel and concrete building, the internet flows right in.
Right.
FM radio is still the best way to transmit and receive an audio signal. But there are places, the few places it doesn't come in our basements, confined space, steel enclosed buildings, and it's hard to penetrate that. And the internet is a free ride for radio.
Right.
We've been able to stream, and we've been able to stream now. I believe it's over 10 years that we've had our streams up. We also can say we know how many people are listening. We knew that last month, I believe Tim Burrows pulled the numbers. We had 16,000 hours of people listening to 94.9 News Now online.
Which was great. We did tremendous with that. But does that mean then that the whole setup with the towers and the terrestrial radio the way it is and how you have so much actual space, if you look at a map, there's a circle for where 94.9 reaches, and there's a circle where another radio station reaches. But now there really are no circles with the internet. We actually got people listening from Guam today. We had a message from Guam, Great Britain, and Florida all today before we even kicked off at 8 o'clock.
Well, Florida, we'll have to say hi to Johnny and Tonino because he listens in his home in Florida, and he ends up piping the radio station around his house. He wants to still stay in touch with Eastern Connecticut. Right. And these are listeners that we never, ever had before.
But is that, you see that's where it's going to end up going, though? People are going to be mostly on the internet, or you think it's a mix?
There'll be a mix for the next 10 years.
Yep.
I would say I was talking to Ed Christian. He's the president of Saga Broadcasting yesterday, and he says the next 10 years, it will be a mix. But yeah, I believe that the internet is getting faster and faster.
Right.
The frequency response is phenomenal. You can send a stereo signal, stream it to a phone. Every phone is a radio. Right. Every iPad is a radio. Every laptop, desktop, your Alexa, your Google smart speakers are all radios.
What about the multiple channels? I know some stations have, channel 1, 2.
You have a lot of questions. I didn't know I was going to get grilled like this.
You're getting grilled.
You don't even tell me what the questions are before you get it on the show.
This is on the fly radio.
No wonder you have a problem getting guests. All right, what was the question again?
No, the 1, 2, 3s. They got we don't have that here at 94.9, but I know our sister station 106.5 does, don't they?
Oh, yeah. You're talking about HD stations.
Yeah.
Multicasting.
Yeah, multicasting. What is that about? I don't know. I don't even understand.
It's exactly what it's about. It's multiple channels.
So one channel, I can have multiple stations.
Yeah, on 106.5 we broadcast on the HD one is 106.5 WBMW.
Right.
On HD2 we have US Country.
Right.
HD3 we have Cool Radio.
Right.
And then on HD4
but you have to have a certain radio to get that, right?
All the new cars have been coming through with them.
Okay.
You need to get a new car.
Yeah, no kidding. How about a little help there? And
well, let's go down.
How about that?
I'll give you a ride. Let's go down to Whaling City.
And was that a hard question to answer? See, it wasn't that hard. All right, you want to get a call?
Sure.
Hello, Ron out in Salem. Ron, good morning.
Good morning. First, a little humor to start the day. Okay.
All right.
Guy was rushed to the emergency room. He had burns on both his hands. So when he got to the doctor, he says, "How'd you burn your right hand?" He said, "Well, I was ironing my shirt and the phone rang. I picked up the iron by mistake." So the doctor says, "Okay, how'd you burn the other ear?" He said, "I had to dial 911.
That's fun, Ron.
That's pretty good, Ron.
All right. On a serious note about these tolls and all that stuff, people don't see what's happening. They don't see what's coming. Whether you use a toll or whether you use the road or not, they're going to send a separate bill to you every month or every year before you can re-register your car. Pay it or don't drive. That's what they're heading to do.
Well, they're going to get you. This is going to be one of the most aggressive taxes that we have, and people don't realize it. Not only, guys, you're going to get taxed for what you drive, but goods and services have to go through those
double
tolls.
Tax.
They're going to go up, right? So when you go to dinner at a fancy restaurant, John, and you get all that great food that's brought to your table, had to get there somehow. So now that is going to go up, even if it's a slight increase, 1%, 2%. It's going to come everywhere. You're going to get taxed everywhere. So it's a huge bill that we're all going to have to pay.
There's going to come a time, Lee, when they just can't. People are not going to take it anymore. But see, my fear is this: what the left really wants is for the right to become violent. That's what they really want. And the problem that the left doesn't realize is when you bring in the soldiers to fight the American people, you're asking them to shoot their mothers, their fathers, their brothers, their sisters, their wives. You're going to have a problem, aren't they?
If it gets to that, they certainly will, Ron. Thanks for the call, man. I appreciate it.
Here's the problem. Ron is right. I'm to the point of almost giving up.
You want to move? You're going to move, aren't you?
Taxes are so high. Regulations are crazy.
Yeah.
Every other week I just got the Rhode Island Department of Labor. They hit us with a penalty. We have a payroll service. Something was not done, or actually, we sent the money in. Is what we have to go through and get the canceled checks,
Right.
And they put it to somebody else. Is the nearest thing I can figure out.
This is Rhode Island.
Yeah, but I've had to have my accountant work on this. All the rest of it, they say we owe X amount of dollars. We get a $2,000 penalty, but we don't owe any of it. So really, this is a hassle.
Right.
You get that? Taxes are going up. Today, I'm appealing my property in Old Saybrook. There's another piece of property that we got when we bought WDRC, 40 acres of land out in Harwington. They've tripled the assessment on that. So we got to file all these appeals. It's coming to the point where you just give up.
Right.
And that's what's going to happen with Americans. All of America is finally going to say the taxes are so high at 70%. That bird brain that, let's go up to 70%.
Right.
What? To hire more people to work in government to do nothing? This is the most inefficient government I've ever seen, right? And then at some point, at 70%, I'm out. That's it. The lights are going off here at Full Power Radio, and I'm going to stay in my basement with my dogs.
What's the worst state? You have
Connecticut!
Is by far. Well, you have companies in Connecticut, New Hampshire, Vermont, and Rhode Island, right?
They're all bad. But I will say this. This town of Ledyard is pro-business.
Yep.
They appreciate our business, whether Democrats have been in or Republicans.
Right.
They have done everything to support these radio stations.
Right.
You talk about Groton. That's a horrible anti-business community.
Right.
They had the sign guy out 10 years ago fining people for putting up little sign flags and all the rest of it. It went on and on. They finally started suing half of the small businesses.
Right.
And on Hamburger Hill, half the stores are out because the word is out. Groton is not a favorable pro-business community.
Right. It's dead. It's dead. All right. Listen, we're out of time.
We're out of time.
Anything you want to add at the end?
Oh, we've got our huge birthday party.
That's right. We got 2 minutes. We can do that. So you want to make the announcement? Who's coming?
No.
Come on. You want to do it? Let me find the drum roll here and make it official.
Now, an incredible guest for the next 94.9 News Now birthday party. Is it Donald Trump?
No.
Is it Hillary Clinton?
Oh, God, no.
It is the incredible Mike Gallagher.
Yay!
Syndicated on hundreds of stations from coast to coast. And you'll be able to meet him in person at the 94.9 News Now birthday party. How was that?
That's great. That was really good. So Gallagher's coming. Gallagher will be there. So people want to know. So that's going to be April 6th. Just a reminder, April 6th.
Coming fast.
Gallagher will be there. Also up on stage that night. Your buddy Le Boutelier will be in
I
town.
like him.
I like him too, but a lot of folks don't. So he'll be going back and forth. But Rob will be up on stage, and also I'm thinking, Stefanowski's going to be up on stage.
Oh, that's great.
So we
This ought
got
to
4
be
heavies.
really
It'll be
good.
good. So that'd be good. So, all right. So that we'll put that together, and that was you made the Gallagher move happen.
Let's.
So.
I'm not into bragging. I do everything. I just try to pull my weight here at the radio station so I don't get a pink slip.
All right, John, thanks. That was fun. Appreciate it. John Fuller, again, he sells and collects the urinal cakes and cleans the bathrooms. Also owns the station, so there you go. All right, we got to take a break. We'll come back. Bottom of the hour news.